Members, order. Can we hear the Honorable? Too cold? Are we in the same chamber? Okay, the sergeant will work on that. Okay. Sergeant, members are complaining. You should lower the air condition. Yes. Okay. Carry on, Honorable Mulher.
This House resolves that the government, through the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, develops and implements a policy on integrating a curriculum for environmental conservation in primary and secondary schools in the country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next, Honorable Jess Kambalu. Honorable Jess Kambalu. Yes, Jessica.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to give notice of the following motion, and that is on the establishment of strategic grain storage reserves and silos in close proximity to smallholder farmers. That are aware that agriculture is a backbone of Kenya's economy, contributing to approximately 33% of the GDP and employing more than 40% of the total population and 70% of the rural population. Noting that the sector's performance has been declining as a result of the adverse effects of climate change, resulting in droughts, famine, and food security. Further, noting that smallholder farming is predominantly rain-fed cereal grain farming, and farmers experience boom harvest every time there is adequate rains. Concerned that such farmers majority lack proper post-harvest grain handling and modern storage facilities, and resort to selling their harvest almost immediately after harvesting at low prices when market is flooded to reduce risk of suffering losses through spoilage. Mr. Speaker, concerned of the fact that the current state of affairs exacerbates poverty in rural areas, and there is need for instituting measures that boost local production to augment our grain reserves as stipulated under the National Food and Nutrition Security Policy, which would also lead to reduction of grains imports in the country. Mr. Speaker, this House now resolves that the government, through Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development, establish strategic grain storage reserves and silos in close proximity to smallholder farmers so as to address post-harvest inefficiencies. Signed by myself, the member of Kibwesi's constituency, Jessica Balu, CBS MP. I thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Honorable Jessica. The Honorable Peter Salasia. Honorable Peter Salasia.
Asad. I start? Okay. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of motion of the following.
Go on.
I'm saying, Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That aware that the importation and exportation of sugar is regulated by the various laws, including the Crops Act and the Agriculture and Food Authority Act 2013. Further aware that the Agriculture and Food Authority is charged with the responsibility of regulating the importation and exportation of sugar in the country in accordance with the law, noting that the importation of sugar is also negotiated within the regional trade blocks.
Order. Who has a point of order? Mutembei, what is out of order?
A female handbag,